But that's the whole point. That's what we're saying. Like, now it makes a little bit more sense, whereas they picked it so early last time.
Right,
When
but
they
it
picked it,
was
it weren't
still
great
against the
steals.
puck. It was still against the Grimstroke, right? So, like, I guess the Lycan being a bit more aggressive is going to mean that maybe he's not going to get chain lockdown on this Rubik, but it still doesn't feel like you're setting him up for a massive amount of success. As well, you're probably not going to get your position 4 quap,
That's fine. It was just a funny
fantasy
suggestion.
coming through. I
Yeah.
mean, the Yoga Magi is all right, especially if you're able to combine it together with the Rubik. Like you said, the telekinesis, instant lift. If you get a little bit lucky with the multicasts, maybe you can kill the puck towards the start of a lot of these team fights. But there isn't a crazy amount of follow-up damage coming through. Like, Orchid might help that a little bit, but I don't know. I'm still not feeling super confident about this.
We don't know what their game plan is because
True.
they are hiding it right now. Like outside because of the Lycan, right? We don't know if the Lycan is the core of their draft or if the core of their draft is coming up on the next phase. Because in my mind, I can see it going either way. Maybe Lycan is like their thing, and they have this whole draft around it and like the idea of how they want to enable it. Or they're gonna pick like this big carry at the end, and this is gonna be like something that's bloodlusted, bitten by Lycan, and gets the move speed and the damage and so on. Like that could be like what they're aiming for, and it's what NaVi I think are thinking that they're gonna do, which is why they're gonna start banning heroes like Medusa. That would have been really nice with it because when you give like Medusa has a lack of mobility, so Lycan gives her that ability to go through a fight. So yeah, that's how I read their
Knight's
draft.
a little odd, though, don't you think? Like,
Do you?
what exactly is he providing? I guess the one big thing that Na'Vi were lacking last game was that push potential. Like, they were relying on a one-team fight to transition into more objectives, which was really based around General's Nightstalker at the time with that Dark Ascension extra damage. So at least you have that inbuilt with the Dragon Knight a little bit. You still need to play around, of course, your ultimate, but it feels a little bit more reliable, I suppose.
He's a body. HellRaisers
Yeah.
have no damage, basically, outside of Queen of Pain ult
Yep.
right now, and anything that Rubik might be able to steal.
Mm.
Lycan is gonna be he's gonna be unaffected by Lycan due to his armor. He'll be unaffected by like Queen of Pain dagger and stuff, like all this damage over time from like Ogre, Ignite, whatever. He doesn't care. He regens.
Yeah.
And he can just sit in front of a tower and protect it. He can push a tower. He gives Na'Vi what they're lacking and kind of makes HellRaisers sweat a little bit and go, oh damn, we don't have a way to really address this.
Yeah, and I think they are somewhat struggling with what to pick here. They didn't have a lot of reserve time to start with, but it is dwindling down quite significantly.
Maybe they should pick the Yosebe.
What about like a Lifestealer or something? No, they're
That's
going to go
fine.
the Wraith King. It's a decent amount of damage. It gives you that extra burst, especially if you go into the Desolator and we see a Chaos Knight coming out. Okay, something a little bit unorthodox here for sure.
Look, I think HellRaisers has definitely answered that lockdown issue we said they might have had, but seeing both drafts completed now, knowing where all of the heroes are going to be positioned, who are you favoring in this matchup for game number 2?
Probably Na'Vi.
Na'Vi.
Again.
Yep.
I think CKCM is like
Incredibly
a really
strong.
big kill
Level
lane.
2.
Yep.
Actually, so
If
horrible.
heroes are not dying, there is something seriously wrong in that lane at level
Yeah.
2. And as well, we haven't even talked about the illusions, right? There's not really any amazing ways for them to clear it outside of Rabel. So I'm keen to see Vatoon pop off there.
I think all their lanes are better, actually.
Yeah.
Are winners, yeah. So I'm not... Maybe... Like DK kind of like they trade farm or
Yeah.
whatever, but
Whatever, you're
who
totally happy
cares?
with
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Like,
You've got 2 ways to push now, CK and Dragon Knight, so...
yeah.
I have loved hearing your thoughts on this draft, but 2 people I'd love to hear a little bit more from are Lyrical and Trent as they take away game number 2 of Na'Vi and HellRaisers.
Thank you so much, Trent. Nobody usually wants to hear from us, so I
No.
appreciate that. That feels
Yeah,
good.
that's good.
We got game number 2 now. HellRaisers looking to pull this one back and push us to a game number 3. The CK came out. You mentioned we were watching the draft. A very quick snap pick for them.
Yeah.
Do you like the decision to go for this hero?
It was a response to the bans there of the Naga Siren and the PL. They're just like, yeah, we know you're gonna ban those heroes, so they just snap pick the CK to see like we didn't want those anyway. You know, that's what they're after. So another decent hero versus the Lycan for like similar reasons, I guess, like the illusions and everything, right? But then I don't know, it's pretty cool. It's not one that you see a whole lot, but it has always had a little bit of flavor to this region in particular of Eastern European players. You know, shout out to Illidan. I feel like that was always rocking this thing. So they're more apt to go for it. Not not sure he's that great at the moment, but I'm looking to be impressed.
Yeah, I think there's some like interesting things that go on here, and like the other thing that we should mention is like the pick is an answer to the Lycan. It ended up being a 3 Lycan instead, so that kind of changes the dynamic slightly. Where normally you would anticipate, okay, this is going to be great versus them, but probably just going to be getting into that wolf bite, and then let Wraith King go to town, and this guy gets a cleave talent later on. I don't know. There's some potential answers there. We'll see if it ends up working for him though. As there is a pause to start the game, as normally happens. We love to see it. But yeah, that's going to be one of the things that I want to watch is how the CK does and how the Crystal Maiden does as well. Another hero that's sort of rising in the ranks a little bit right now. Maybe.
Yeah, let's go. Crystal Maiden, everyone's favorite support when they don't want to support.
There you go.
I think she's really good versus Lycan. I always think like Lycan and like Phantom Lance are two heroes I like to have this hero versus, especially ever since they added the giant armor bonus to the ulti. But on top of having like the ulti abilities, it's just the idea of using Crystal Nova for the attack slow. 50 attack slow, max level versus Lycan and summons is really nice. Not as good now without the Necronomicon, of course, but still pretty solid.
Yeah. Makes a big difference for like that Helm of the Dominator creep or whatever as well. But we can get right into the game now as the pause has concluded. And we're getting ready for this game number 2. So yeah, a bunch of interesting things to watch there for. Like, how do you actually deal with the CM ulti if she just drops it off? I mean, probably just run away. But
good solution.
It's something where like at least Lycan probably isn't going to be able to kill her. But maybe Quap goes Orchid and, is just going to be able to feed off of CM. Or Grimstroke.
Yeah, they do have to watch for the stuns, as you said, in terms of just like running away. Because when we were talking about like what heroes would be coming out here, we thought maybe like the root from the Underlord could look good for sort of either team to try and control, because you're just trying to root down this like Queen of Pain, this Lycan, maybe this Puck here. But they wound up with the DK stun instead. So not multiple targets, but very solid single target initiation here, and we can of course multiply that with the help of the Grimstroke.
Yeah, a little bit later on, it'll be pretty sick. Good D-Ward down bottom, able to take that one away. So they'll get themselves off to a little bit of a start, taking away that vision down bottom. And I guess the other thing that sort of speaks to me in this is you were talking about like the stuns and everything else that's going to come out. The other thing that's sort of concerning for Rebel is the leashes. It was Quap first pick into Puck and then Grimstroke. If they can stay on top of this Queen of Pain, she is going to get rocked by the CK in particular.
It feels like the BKB needs to come out fairly early. And then, of course, if you get pressured into that situation, then, maybe the Puck gets an Aghanims, and then plus BKB can be a little bit tough versus, like, DK, because maybe he just gets the instant stun on you. And then you don't get to pop your BKB, because CK also doesn't really care about BKBs a lot of the time. You just get right-click down and explode. So... tough game for Rebel. I don't expect to see him in the fray as much as some other Queen of Pains can tend to play.
Yeah, at least not until you get some of those more defensive items. Definitely, that would be the time that we might watch for it. But we'll see how it goes. At least for now, down bottom, we can see Wraith King paired together with Malady on this Ogre, hoping to end up with a few less deaths this time. It was a rough one for the poor old Tree last game, now playing on the Ogre. So just give me a hero that punches, and he is doing that right now, running down a Loa Dance.
It's true. Tree tricks you. You think that you can punch his tree, and then they cut down all your trees, and you're like, oh, this isn't actually that easy. But Ogre... Right. Now, funnily enough, if you actually just cut all the trees, Ogre would face a lot of the same problems. But people just don't do that versus... I mean, why wouldn't he? Right? Because he wouldn't be able to just like run and like, because you weave in and out of the trees as Ogre a lot of the time, right? To just like punch, and then everyone knows it's not worth to chase you. But if you just like cut the trees and he can't do that, then it is going to be more annoying. Like you can see General's like, you know what? This worked really well last time. I'm just going to do it again.
Yeah.
He's just cutting trees here.
I do like it. I will say that you've still at least got like the armor and the regen, which is absolutely madness on the Ogre.
Look, don't ruin my theory here, okay? Listen.
Look, he's cutting trees.
This is some groundbreaking stuff. I told you. He saw what happened last game. He's like,
he can't do anything.
He's like, you know what? This would just make it worse. I'm just going to cut it. Like, sure, he'll still be better than Tree, but he won't be as annoying.
Oh, man.
I tell you, those cut trees.
Malady. That happened. It's all because of the trees. Don't let anybody tell you differently. They actually don't get the kill, though.
No, and then cutting that tree with his tango saved his life. So, where are you now, trees?
It's true. In the last game, not here. Limitless up top is brought down very, very low and trying to get into that Helm of Iron Will. 30 gold away. Oh, this timing is so annoying because it's really hard to come in and get that last hit. And now Limitless gonna get
jukes,
brought down. Most
Jives?
likely tries to get the jukes. Oh no, not enough mana for the stun afterwards. Solo will manage to back out. Gilgear trying to chase him down through the trees here. And they're able to find Frostbite afterwards. 2-second stun from V-Tune, couple more punches. But if they would have just cut the trees, none of this would have happened. NaVi can't quite connect.
Deforestation is the answer. And that's
right.
where you ping your CM skills, the 0 and the aura. Even though she's level 2, you still do it.
Okay, got it. Love to see it.
Helps build team morale, I think. I think that's why my cores do it, at least.
It's a good reason. Treat you well. In the meantime, mid lane, both mids are going to steal each other's bounty runes. Ribble also has already blocked out that small camp and bottles and back. Perfectly fine. As up top, V-Tune has actually been taking a lot of damage and doesn't have any more regen right now. And Solo also doesn't. Is this coming on a courier? Oh, the Helma Iron Will is coming out. So if they could find a way to go on to V-Tune here, this would be nice. Since he's relatively low, but doesn't look like it's going to happen.
I think the fact that it's giving Limitless the ability to actually hit creeps is just good enough for them. They played the last lane really well, too. They did an excellent job of controlling the waves, especially right up until like the 6-minute mark. That's when it really turned in V-Tune's favor previously with the Ursa. So we'll see if, once again, that becomes the case. I mean, obviously, his last hits are still pretty fine. He's only a little bit behind the Lycan, but this big wave coming through is looking real nice.
Yeah, it's sick. Definitely, you love to see it as a Lycan player right now. He's going to be super duper farmed up and almost has that Helm of the Dominator completed. As stun down bottom, again, trying to put the pressure on, and a little bit later than game number 1, but first blood still going to be drawn. Loha Dance picks that one up.
Those trees. Slice them and dice
Damn
them.
it, Trent.
Dude, they did. I mean, I just...
He died
saying.
here. He died there. Okay.
Yeah, and where are the trees?
That's true. I can't argue with that.
Yeah, exactly. 2 and 2 together. That's a dead 5.
Good math as well as analysis here.
This is why they bring in the NA broadcasters, ladies and gentlemen. Stun up top on the Gilgear body blocks. The Wolves blocking back, though.
Has the Fade Bolt to lower down that damage. The Frostbite is there in the end, and Solo finds the final touch for the kill. But Limitless, having all of this extra regen from the Helm of Iron Will, it's going to be unlikely they can bring him down. And in fact, has 11 denies so far. So only 17 and 5 on V-Tune.
Yeah, a lot of that was that timing where he was really low HP, too. And
Yeah.
I'm assuming some of those are probably Wolves as well, hopefully. As V-Tune just tries to bully them. And haven't really seen Solo going after them at all
No,
with the Frostbite.
hasn't really been the way that he's been going with it. And I mean, it's tough right now, right? Like, this is a bit of a problem. The small camp is going to respawn again, but this is another huge wave that's coming in towards Limitless. And V-Tune just not really getting off to the type of start that you would hope. It's not, like, terrible, but, you know, not the greatest either. Melody backs away. Coil even going to be dropped now. It's 6 minutes in. And with the Ink Swell, should be another death there on to the Ogre.
Meanwhile, at the same time, Gilgear did rotate into the mid, stack the small camp for the Queen, and ensured that they couldn't contest that top rune either. So, but sort of bringing both supports mid, and one of those rotations not working out so well. But that's fine. Queen will keep farming. Just a little bit behind the puck. Both, you're not really hoping to coil an Ogre, so, maybe there'll be another rotation. Maybe Rebel wants to sort of take advantage of the fact that Puck doesn't have the coil. Maybe try and gank a side lane right now, especially with an Arcane Rune.
Or a jump. Oh, we got damage on him. Is it enough now? I thought maybe with the Sonic Wave he could have done something, but no chance. So yeah, the No One Puck is going to head on back to home, and we'll have, at around that time, Dream Coil back up again. So we'll have to see if there's any decision to go for a pressure out in a lane or just comes back since Rebel's already there.
Yeah, there's
Pushing
a
into the
lot of
tier
creep
one.
pressure mid, so probably wants to get back to it as soon as it can.
Very, very nice.
Pretty valuable farming rune here just for Rebel, honestly. You got a lot out of the arcane room, just going through the jungle, able to keep up at a pretty decent mana clip here.
Yeah.
Arcane rune's also there as well, so just farming up an absolute starter. How is Watson doing? I haven't checked this guy out at all. I assume he's going armlet. I assume CK is going armlet. Wow, such item. Still very strong.
Oh, stun there. Force him back in. Why not? And gonna pop ulti also on this dragon just to, I guess, eventually get a little bit of extra harassment onto the tower. But we have Rebel heading back up towards the top side of the map now. There is an observer ward there, which scouts that rotation in. And it looks like that's going to be the end of it. Instead, it's a TP going down bottom. General is there. They pop the Sonic Wave. Hits onto 3, actually. And is going to find the finish. That was Coil used as well.
Yeah, they probably could have kept fighting that if it wasn't for the DD. Like, DK kind of like thought about it. It's just like, oh, okay, never mind. It's just like Rebel is just right-clicking it so hard.
Link back up. This is a DD. No one.
Nah, he's still got W. He's fine.
Yeah. Oh, and instead it's CM that dies up top. Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, Limitless is just getting revenge because on the one hand, it's like, yeah, I'm Crystal Maiden, so you get a helm and I just freeze it and I can kill it and it's great. And then, you know, but if you don't get that Frostbite off or if the Lycan really has any help or an ulti, you're probably still dead. You freeze the creep, you just die to Lycan and the Wolves.
Yeah, it's still just too much damage. At least until that level 6 comes around, which we were talking about. And then you can just pop it.
Then you can patiently wait just outside of your ulti.
They're getting set up, trying to go in towards mid. No one used the orb and couldn't quite get into range with Gilgear for the lift. So they're putting a lot of pressure trying to keep no one on his toes, but haven't been able to connect for a kill yet. Interesting. As we talked about during the draft a little bit, some of the issues that could come up if Puck decides to go this Witchblade route, and it looks like the Quap is trying to rush an Orchid, so we'll have to see what ends up happening between those two there.
Yeah, you just do your best not to get punished, right? Like the Witchblade's so valuable that even if you think that the Queen's going Orchid, like this is still a pretty standard play. Just don't get caught, you know?
Okay.
So, I mean, no one did a great job of that last game. There's plenty of reasons why he should have died previously, even if there wasn't an Orchid. So I'm sure he'll do a fine job. Throws out one more orb there just to say, oh, yeah, I'm totally still mid. But I believe that's Queen drawing the line, saying, yeah, they are coming bottom. Wraith King is holding the point for ulti. Queen has TP and Sonic Wave. Gilgear has TP. Limitless has TP. So they are ready for this if they want to defend. And, yeah, they're committing. Watson's just trying to pop it. He wants the fight.
He sees him.
Oh,
There's
no.
the root afterwards. Got him. Gonna pop that ulti. It's down. The slowdown is there afterwards from no one. Has an orb back up. Wants to back out. But they got the Sonic Wave onto 2. Solo trying to TP out of there in time and will not be able to. And the root long duration is enough for the kill. Oh, man. That's the downside if you put 3 points in the Frostbite. Gilgear stole it.
Man, I like heard the TP. I thought she was out for sure. Oh wow, it was actually on the same.
It was in Fountain.
It was the same tick. Yeah, it actually was. I was just looking on the combat log. It was exactly 3 seconds she died.
Oh,
Very unfortunate for Solo.
Sucks. Interesting. I mean, Gilgear having this Frostbite for the next little bit, Puck has to be super careful. Everybody does. That's a long route.
Great play set up there from HellRaisers, though, right? They fully read the situation. They called the rotation. Everyone was just patiently, like, no one was, like, farming and wasting spells and stuff. They were just, like, lurking on the other lanes, waiting for that exact moment. Watson forces it by running into them. Now, it does cost the ulti, though, so, of course, you know, they might just do this again, because DK's Dragon Form is back up in a few seconds, and Reincarnation will not be. So, they could just pressure this tower down. Sure, you got a couple kills on the supports, but in the end, it wasn't a massive cost, I would say, for Na'Vi.
Yeah, definitely. I think that the sort of cost feels almost more like psychological, where you're making a move down there to secure something and then it doesn't end up working out. Which, you know, I'm sure they'll be able to get over and it'll be fine. But it's going to be
It's kind of like
interesting to watch.
like we called them out, you know. Oh yeah, we got their moves. Yeah, like feels good for
Exactly.
HellRaisers too.
Right. Totally. It's still, though, like you said, not that huge of a difference. 2,000 gold lead, but there is going to be this like second move now of HellRaisers. They're glyphing the wave even to try and pressure this tier 1 tower mid.
There's a
So
soulbind
Na'Vi can
and a
get
blink
here.
stun. Yeah, DK's blink is coming on the courier.
How much time does he have left? He actually doesn't have that much dragon form left, it looks like.
No, and they push this really fast.
They're
They're gonna
thinking
smoke
about
up
it, though.
They're gonna respect it. HellRaisers.
Oh, but the tower's dead. And they don't. They do manage to get the deny on it. Wow, that's crazy. So they still get the
Yeah.
tier 1 tower mid.
They thought they were actually camping the units too. I think that's why they like jumped in the trees there.
Right. Can they get anything off the back? I mean, there's still smoked, but it looks like it's gonna wear off now in a second.
Gilgear, dangerous.
Super.
Oh, actually, it's
dangerous.
his courier. Where's that thing going?
Dude, I don't know. That was weird. He's scouting. He found him.
What?
Dude, maybe that's the play. You're like, I think they're over here. Let me send the courier in.
Now I'm like looking for a neutral item he left behind. I don't even know. I got nothing. I don't know what he was doing.
Well, nonetheless, it is still tier 1 tower, living mid. Don't have a tree this time around.
He like keeps drawing over there. He's just like, yeah, no, they were there. Yeah, no, I scouted. I was a
courier.
genius. They call it the Gilgear actually when you
Right.
do it. Yeah.
All right, invis, no one gonna break there. And smoked up round 2, looking for an opening. Gilgear, gotta be careful. This general blink could be devastating. And they found one. It's Malady. This dude has been killed many times this series, but that is
Alright,
the
but-
type of death he wants.
Not 14 yet though, so that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yet. Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, very threatening dragon pushing here. He's a strange dragon. He doesn't breathe fire, so a little bit odd. But he does still hit towers.
Yep. And they get it. So all they needed was that one kill and then bring in enough numbers to force back the rest of HellRaisers.
God, imagine if this is what Dragon Knight was and he didn't even have the breathe fire. What a boring hero. He's basically just playing Wraith King.
Yeah.
He's old Wraith King. He's Skeleton King. That is who General is right now.
That's pretty cool.
I click one button. Instead of respawning, I just become a dragon. Okay, that part's a little bit cooler, but yeah,
think he's gonna take
he's somehow
stats?
made the most basic hero more basic. Oh, please no. There's no way. There's
If
I would be
General
so
takes stats
offended.
Instead of breathe fire, that'd be awesome.
He's like, if I can't buy 4 bracers on Clockwork, then I'm just gonna do this.
Well, Solo going for the death push up top. Will it turn into a death push? No, looks like he's living for now. Wraith King reveals himself as like, yeah, I gotta back out of here. But it was a bit of a smoke up from HellRaisers and try and make a move since they did complete
you
the
see
Helm of
that?
the Overlord. No, what?
Oh, he stole that creep of the wolf. Yeah, I think that was caught it. That was sick. He was scouting General with the wolf, and he stole the big creep with it.
Nice.
One little bite.
Like that.
And that scouting is what's going to lead to this easy Roche.
Yeah. Very good stuff. I mean, I think having this ancient golem now too. So, you know, one of the problems that people always talk about with Puck in particular is like running out of damage. And I think that that's something that's definitely going to become a problem here, right? Like, you don't
Yeah.
have Breathe Fire on Dragon Knight. Chaos Knight isn't going to be doing a ton of damage yet, really. And if they've got this extra like HP from this golem, how do you deal with this?
Yeah, it's actually crazy. It's like you have to buy a veil to make it even. And even
Yeah.
then, it's still not.
Well, tier 2 tower is down, and I mean, how do you stop this push?
Oh, I love golem pushes so much.
It's just going.
They actually can't kill this without like Phantasm, I think.
This is nuts. Dude, it even helps the little skeletons too.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
All right, we'll see how it goes. But at least for now, taking that tier 2 tower, taking the outpost. Previously, when this happened, we should keep in mind NaVi was able to delay out the game, get towards a big, terrifying force that eventually pulled apart HellRaisers, and they were able to kill them all off. We'll see if they can make the same thing happen in this game number 2.
Oh,
Jump in.
that's it. And they're not going to commit. They don't know just like how alone he was in that moment.
Right.
That could have been like the fastest burst ever, but obviously it's very dangerous to try and do that versus an Aegis, because then, you know, maybe you get caught up, blah, blah, blah. But that also could have just been like a free Aegis take, depending.
They know where they are right now. They've been following them with these wolves this whole time.
Yeah.
And V-Tune shows for a second, sees that the wolves are on him, and now immediately runs away. Oh my
Look where
god.
Aloha Dance is going. This is
Dude.
insane.
What a heads-up play. That was sick.
Meanwhile, Aloha Dance runs the entire way through like the middle of the Radiant side of the map. He's so confident that they're just out there chasing. Solo is just, Solo. Very
Dude.
alone.
This is what we were talking about, though. Oh my god. That's, skeletons, get them! Oh my god. Solo.
Imagine. Imagine, though. Win the match to harvest their bones.
Oh, that was so good. I love that. In the meantime, no one is going to be able to back out of there and make his way out. I mean, this is the thing, right? Like, this is basically what happened last game, but NaVi were able to, like, delay it long enough. HellRaisers, things are still looking good, but they're being pulled around the map. I don't know, Trent. How you feeling about the HellRaisers' chances right now?
I think they just need to like really keep this pressure up. Like they just need to grab the ancient creep and just run behind it and just like run another tower.
Right.
It's like, how do you actually start a good fight right now before this Blink Dagger on Puck? I think it's a lot to ask for General to get like some Soulbind stun because like how's Aloha Dance gonna get in range and everything? They just feel so much stronger that I'd rather see them on the dire side of the map focusing on objectives rather than chasing heroes. It's awesome that you can like scout them with the wolves and stuff, but I feel like if you just hit buildings right now, what are they gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, can they can't keep up with you with split push wise either, right? They have a Chaos Knight who can like maybe spam Phantasms, but the Puck is also missing the Boots of Travel. So,
Right.
You have Lycan. Like, I feel like they should just be hitting structures. Get in there.
They're queuing up the Blink Dagger for Wraith King. That might be something that they're waiting for, or the BKBs on Rebel as well. This Aegis, it feels like, though, at this point is going to be mainly used to secure like map control and to try and get into their next set of items. We'll see if it ends up coming back to bite them later.
Yeah, I think it like failed to secure map control, honestly. With how much NaVi
Yeah.
just like ran around the map and they just got like useless pickoffs on the CM. I feel like overall this has been going much better for NaVi than HellRaisers.
Right. Maybe a little bit of complacency. NaVi, not so much. They're making the move themselves. They want to do things on this map and find pickoffs. And guess who it is? Watson is there. Hello, sir. Nice to see you. Dead one time at the very least. Can they get him again? Solo's got there with the ulti, but the Sonic Wave comes in along with the Orchid. Do they try and take this fight now?
Oh, Solo's
turns,
positioning.
wants to take it down. Watson is dead, and Solo's backing away. Gonna be fine for now. They all are gonna drop. What?
Solo's sick. He's so sick.
Oh my god. And V-Tune with a triple kill already. Red Bull is gonna be able to get out of there.
Oh, the CM
it
fanboy
hurts.
in me is strong. It's so strong right now. So
They get the
Solo,
helm of the Overlord kill. Ugh.
he got orchided right at the start on the Queen of Pain, by the Queen of Pain and Sonic Wave. So like they tried because they knew that the CM wants to set up for an ulti post respawn of the Wraith King, right? Just
Yeah.
like guarantee a crazy amount of damage, make it hard to come into the fight. So Queen blinks in, orchids the Queen of Pain. Solo manages to escape off to the right hand side, hides behind a tree, and runs the ulti and gets like the full duration off.
Yeah. That was pretty hype. I mean, it's just the biggest thing of just like not losing people at all, pretty much, and they lose 4. Lycan, the only one to survive through it, but ends up losing his creep. Has to go back now and get a stinky black dragon guy. So all he can do is throw a fireball. Nobody likes that one.
All he can do is like completely side push a lane, you know.
Listen,
So
Travis, whatever.
useless.
Unbelievable.
You guys
Running
need to
back
put on
in
the
again.
winter map, by the way, because if you put on the winter map, it's like a white and like pink dragon. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this should be the model for all the time.
I agree. Well,
I'm glad. Thank you.
yeah, I haven't seen it. I'm just gonna agree with you. God, that's gotta hurt though. I mean, so on the one hand, like that fight looks so unbelievably bad for HellRaisers, but it feels like a big part of that is just because of how terribly it started, and not being able to get into position in time afterwards with everybody.
Yeah, it was just a really good read on the situation from NaVi. They're just, they're punishing. Oh,
Yo, Garrett, dead. Got him.
that was really nice of Aloha Dance to fire that warning shot to make sure that no one got the kill.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good. Yeah,
I see it coming this way.
yeah.
I'm not sure. It just feels like Navi are making the right moves around the map and taking advantage of like these little moments when HellRaisers are getting weaker.
All right, I can tell you why NaVi have been winning over the past period. They just got their last neutral item at 23
see.
minutes. You see? So you know why? Because they were hitting lanes. That's what they were doing. They were pushing lanes out while you're trying to do stuff with Roche. They're like, no, I don't care. No
Fair.
cares neutral items. Now, mind you, the last one was a Philosopher's Stone, so they actually do care. But that's the key. They weren't just like turtling. They were actually out there making stuff happen.
Okay. Fair enough. Go Garrett.
And you know what
Gonna
that
hit
means?
D-word?
That
What does
means
that mean?
Grimstroke Aghanims coming out eventually, right? The Philosopher's Stone.
Oh, he's got it. Yeah, chilling in his inventory. I was wondering if CM would steal it, but probably not.
I mean, the BKB, I don't know, some value.
Okay. Instead, it is a BKB completed for General, though. 4 staff for the CM. You got Yules, Blink on Puck. So they're in a really strong point right now, it feels like.
And we wait for Roche. I suppose will be our next case here. All right, what's the vision situation here? They have a general idea of where they are right now on NaVi, and well, they're just kind of going in.
Yep. Call is out. Aloha Dance going to lead the way. Has a ward right at the start. Don't even need it. Just going to blow up Gilgear. And now,
why was he there?
'Cause
I literally
Vi's back
saw-
immediately. They jump in. They kill no one, though. That's big.
Okay,
Can they find
that's
any
huge.
more afterwards? Tries to get out of there with the pig pole. Not going to happen. Sonic Wave connects onto all 3. And now the chase down. Navi, they stuck around a bit too long. Can they find anybody else? Yes. They get the CM to boot. Very nicely played. And, well, on the other side, also
wow.
Aloha Dance is caught. So
And they got
take down
V-Tune's
4.
Hyperstone. Yeah, that was a lot of damage. All right, well, that started out very poorly because Gilgear like ran down the hill, and I'm like, you're literally standing next to Ogre. Why are you the one running down the hill? But either way, didn't matter. Buyback makes a good fight. The Orchid onto the Puck forces out the Yules, and then he used the Blink Silence of the Shard to guarantee the kill after. So there was just no counterplay really there from no one.
That was nice.
Dire's
Oh.
bottom tower has
Red Bull did just kill the Granite Golem, which I think Lycan is very upset about. Limitless is not happy. And they don't actually even manage to get that tier 2 tower mid. But nonetheless, still winning a big engagement. And that was with those BKBs online for NaVi.
That's going to give them a bit of an edge here, too, as the Roche has respawned. They're going to smoke up, head in that general direction, scout out with the Wolves, and see if they can get that good jump. Queen, of course, BKB back in 1 second. This is really nice smoke timing. Like, getting this far in as your BKB's just coming back, like, that's how you're trying to find out if NaVi is not ready for this.
They get together. Ulti out. V-Tune. Ooh, Stolen Phantasm. Gonna send some illusions away.
Not
Roche.
particularly useful, but sure. Yeah, maybe you can bait something. Oh my god, it worked. It actually worked. He BKB'd, he Inkswell, he blinked in his DK. Communication team.
God.
Communication.
Silence. Gotta be careful. No one backs out. Watson finds his man.
I
Aloha
can't
Dance
believe it.
dead. Dude, it all went according to plan. Solo drop stolen freezing field now also. Dude, that was
How?
the best Phantasm steal ever.
Exactly. That's when you get his Rubik and you're like, I want it stunned, you know? And then you make that play happen. I can't believe that. BKB, everything popped on general. They're like one good, thing that he can do. That's the DK's job. And well, he just got laid off. The economy's rough right now, so might be looking for some some new people to suit up here.
Damn, dude, that's too real. There's a player behind the screen. Oh no. Well, what else do we got now? I mean, Navi still, it feels like the game plan is the same. Get V-Tune to be huge. Because I feel like even if like HellRaisers are doing quite well, eventually this CK becomes so difficult to deal with. It's just, I guess, a question of will they get there? I don't know.
I don't
Maybe
know.
right.
Watson's he's carrying that big stick right now, that DD. He is there, you know?
That's true. Yeah. He's got great voice lines as well.
He really does. And an excellent new taunt. It really jams it. God, that thing is humongous.
That's no
He
joke.
swings a very large stick.
Yeah, that thing is huge. Why is it's an axe? Why does he have?
I don't know.
When did that happen? Doink.
I quite like it though.
Scary. Looks like a
Top
Reaper
lane.
scythe.
Aloha Dance. He just wants that shop. He wanted a Void Stone.
And green stuff coming out. Can they kill him? Yes. Kill Gear gets the kill. Oh man. All right, HellRaisers. They came to play in game number 2. And General wants to jump in. Not gonna happen. He is gonna get gobbled up. Yummy, yummy. Dude, there's a BKB now done for what? This is really bad for Navi.
Yes, I would say so.
I don't know what you do now. No one trying to buy a little bit of extra space and time. They're pushing out waves, but up top is pressuring in as well.
They've really lost like what this lineup needs in terms of the fear that you're trying to instill around the map. Right now, I'm not afraid if I'm on HellRaisers. I don't have any sort of concern about what this DK can do. They need some crazy soulbind stun. I mean that they just need a lot of stuff to go right. Kind of like that fight in the Radiant Triangle where there was like a full initiation onto a CM with the Orchid and stuff, and then she still lives enough to get off like a decent ulti to help it with the fight and slow things down. So. They just need, things to go extremely well, and that's very difficult now with Aegis and Cheese and Shard and all those things starting to come out here soon as we head into the third Roche more than likely before we head back up.
Even like the big game-changing thing that happened in the last game where Aloha Dance was this Grimstroke and, was able to get the Dark Portrait off. It's not as threatening when this Wraith King's going like the Deso armlet build, right? Like it's not the same as in the past when you're like Radiance, giant, huge items.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. AC also completed on CK. That'll be very nice.
I mean, it is still Chaos Knight. If you get stunned and he's ulting, you will just die.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, they have ridiculous amount of damage. But likewise, Bloodlust is a pretty sick spell. So throwing that onto Watson, if you get caught as the CK, I feel like he also can die.
God, they're just like so stuck on their base right now. Grimstroke's up top here, just like trying to do something. He needs that 1,000 range stroke of fate. That's what he needs. He just just needs to get himself 7 levels. Perfect. Then he can help split push a little bit better.
I like it. Love it. Tier 2 tower down bottom. Going to drop. And guess what? The Frenzy.
Bloodlusted, frenzied Queen of Pain.
Yeah, actually, I wonder if you keep this Ancient Thunderhide and just Frenzy Watson before you go in.
Sure.
That's so much attack speed. Holy crap.
Yeah, I'd like to see it again. Get that thing over here.
He's got slamming to do.
He's slamming that wave right there. Yeah, farm it up. Oh, yeah.
Well,
meanwhile, in Navi's base, they smoked up and they're not moving.
Oh.
That is an ambitious wraparound. No one drew that. Everyone else is just like, dude, come on. That's so far, dude. There's creeps in our base. It's like, do we have another smoke?
Yeah. He's like, okay, we'll go this way instead.
Yeah. All right, we'll just go right at them.
They missed,
Somehow
though.
they all pass each other.
Yeah. Interesting. Able, realizing where people are. Hello, finds one. Grimstroke in trouble. Aloha Dance almost brought down. Ghost Scepter alive, gets the Soulbind off. And then the stun, not bad. Sonic Wave afterwards, though. These BKBs are running out, and all of the illusions are gone. B-Tune trying to hide in the trees. There's nowhere left to hide. Dead for a minute, and they look for more. General eventually going to get brought down and killed. And GG, well played, is called. HellRaisers, they strike back in game number 2, Trent.
Most formidably, too. Yeah, they really grabbed this one. Kind of had an early lead coming in. Maybe just like stall it a little bit mid-game, but not so much in terms of like their play, but just playing more cautiously. Just saying like, yeah, we've got this in control. We're going to get our bigger items, and we'll just storm in there. And NaVi, they found some good fights. They were able to sort of play a little bit more onto the rating side of the map. I feel like HellRaisers maybe unnecessarily stalled out a bit in the mid-game and could have pushed their advantage a little bit further. But in the end, they got the win, so maybe just playing it a bit cautious here after being down a single game and needing this game 3. Because as we know, every single match is ridiculously important in the DPC.
Totally. Could be the difference between you going to the major or not. And for these two teams, this match is probably going to determine a ton of that. So we'll see what ends up happening off of that. But yeah, you mentioned like in the end, it was the type of situation where it never felt like HellRaisers were like losing. It just felt like maybe they could have done more. But in the end, they did enough, and that's what matters. So doing enough in game number 2. We'll see if they can do it in game number 3. But for now, we're going to go break, and we'll let the panel break down all the action. We'll see you guys then.